just introduce ourselves. Me, Xiaomin, and Lauren, we represent the Brandom Alumni Network, which basically works to help current high school students, especially low income and those affected by COVID, with applying to colleges, the entire college experience. We create webinars where we advise people, we hold Q&As, and we generally just try to share resources and our knowledge and what we've researched with high school students. And we post those webinars on our YouTube channel, which is also Brandom Alumni Network, which you can look up. You can see our past webinars. But I'm George. I go to UCLA and I'm a second year majoring in astrobiology.
And I'm Lauren. I'm a sophomore at Georgetown University, and I'm planning on majoring in either Justice and Peace Studies and Women and Gender Studies.
And hi, I'm Xiaomian. I'm a freshman at Stanford University, and I'm thinking of majoring in engineering, but currently undeclared.
And we also partner with Bruin to Bruin Tutoring at Branham, and we work with them to help fully realize what students at Branham most need, and would like to get to know. And they really help us center our focus to Branham collectively and to not only senior students and junior students applying to colleges, but also the freshman and sophomore experiences and what they need to.
And do you want to explain a little about what UC Week and what the UC system is?
Oh yeah, of course. So the UC system is a system of public colleges in California. UC stands for University of California. There are 9 schools. They're all highly nationally recognized, and we're just going to be engaging this week in interviewing 9 student panelists, one from each UC, just to get to know what the UCs are like, honestly. So today's will be a holistic UC-wide panel, but during the weekdays, you'll get a more in-depth look at each UC. Each weekday, we'll should line up later, but we'll have like a half an hour one-on-one interview with an audience Q&A. And today we'll generally go over what the UC system is, like Lauren said, and just like an intro, sort of, a taste at what each UC sort of is best known for.
Awesome. And so the roadmap for today's webinar is first, we're going to have an alumni introduction. And so each alumni is going to share a little bit about themselves, what they're doing in college. Then we're going to provide basic facts about the UC campuses. We'll provide an interview with each of the alum, where we're asking them a series of questions, and each of them will provide a response. And then at the end, we'll have a Q&A. And so if you have any questions at all throughout the webinar, please privately message me, and we'll get to that at the end of the webinar.
So the lineup this week, on Monday will be UC Berkeley and UCSC, each for half an hour. Tuesday, UC Davis and UC Merced. Wednesday, UC San Diego and UC Riverside. Thursday, UC Irvine and UCSB. And Friday, UCLA, also just for half an hour.
Yeah, and each of these sessions is 30 minutes long, and it occurs from 4 to 5 p.m. And you can RSVP for all of these sessions on the same link that you used to RSVP for this one. And we can drop it in the chat, I think. Also, we're going to start with alumni introductions, and Daria is up next.
Hi everyone, my name is Daria. I am a UC Berkeley sophomore studying electrical engineering and computer science, and I'm minoring in ethnic studies, and I'm really stoked to be here telling you a little bit about myself today. I'm the chief of staff and a project lead at an organization called Blockchain at Berkeley, where we basically build blockchain solutions for companies that are interested in implementing some kind of blockchain technology, and we also teach some world-renowned blockchain courses. And I'm also a CS mentor for some of the introductory CS classes at Berkeley.
Awesome, thanks Daria. Next, Sai.
Hello everyone, my name is Sai, and I'm from UCSC. I'm an MCD bio major, and pre-med at that. I'm I'm an officer at Operation Smile, it's UCSC chapter, and I just became an emergency medical tech this past winter quarter. And yeah, I'm excited to talk about UCSC and what we do.
Thank you. Next, Emma.
All right, hello everybody. My name is Emma. I'm a third-year student at UC Davis, and I'm majoring in neurobiology, physiology, and behavior with the hopes of being a doctor one day, and I'm actually minoring in music as well. So on campus, I'm involved with a research lab that studies attention and memory, and I'm also involved in some other clubs and organizations, which we'll talk about later. And a fun fact about me is that I'm from California, but before that, I lived in 3 other states.
Wow, that's so cool, Emma. Thank you. And next. Oh, so our representatives from UC San Diego and UC Merced couldn't be here today, but they shared with us their responses to all these questions, and so you'll still get information about both of these schools. Tanvi, she's going to be doing the UC San Diego informational session during the week, and she's majoring in international business. She's on the Zor dance team, and she writes for the International Affairs Journal at her school. And and Julie, she is a third-year student at UC Merced. She's majoring in management and business economics, and she's involved in a community microfinance project on her campus. And Xiaomian will be reading their responses for today. Taylor, I think you're up next.
Hi, I'm Taylor. I am a second year at UC Riverside, and I'm majoring in neuroscience, and I'm involved with VSA at school.
Awesome, thank you. And then Ken?
Hi, I'm Ken. I'm a second year at UCI with a major in psychology BS, and I'm part of the campus-wide honors collegium, which is basically just a program that puts students through like extra courses and just programs to kind of get them closer to professors for research theses, and then also connections for the occupational field in the future.
Wow, cool. And Jocelyn?
Hi everyone, my name is Jocelyn. I'm a second year student at UC Santa Barbara. I'm currently majoring in communications, hoping to add a double major in political science to hopefully carry me on into law school. And something interesting about me is that I recently got admitted to the honors program at UCSB, which I'm not really sure what that means yet because Corona's kind of messing with the requirements for that, but I'm excited to find out and I'm excited to talk about my school with you guys today.
Thank you, Jocelyn. And George?
My name is George. I'm a second year at UCLA, majoring in astrobiology. On campus, I'm involved in LGBTQ advocacy and neuroscience research in Alzheimer's and the protein aggregations associated with Alzheimer's. And a fun fact about me is that I was born with different colored eyes. Now they're plain and brown, so.
What color were they before?
They were purple, which is so sad. I want purple eyes.
That is so cool, George. And now we're going to go into the interview process. Okay. And first, we're going to have everyone describe their student body in 3 words. Taylor, or actually, no, Xiaomian wanted to go first. Xiaomian, could you answer?
So I'll be sharing the answers from UC Merced and UC San Diego. So first, Julie describes her campus, UC Merced, as a diverse, accepting, and caring student body. And for UC San Diego, a friend of Tommy described it as a passionate, determined, and genuine place.
Awesome, thank you. George, could you go next?
I describe UCLA as warm, sociable, and innovative.
Nice. Daria, can you go next? Oh, I don't think we can hear you.
Yeah, sorry, my microphone is broken, but I would describe it as passionate, rigorous, and diverse.
Awesome. Emma?
I would describe the student body at Davis as welcoming, driven, and compassionate.
And Jocelyn.
I would describe UC Santa Barbara students as social, relaxed, and eco-friendly.
Ken.
I would describe UCI as very fresh, diverse, and driven.
Sai.
I would describe the UCSC students as vocal, spirited, and progressive.
And Taylor.
I would describe UCR as studious, friendly, and very calm.
And if I end up skipping someone, just stop me. But I'm going to go on to the next question. What is your school known for? Majors and vibes. Xiaomian, can you start us off?
Yeah, so Julie shared that for UC Merced, the school is known for computer science, engineering, and biology, and that the most popular majors with great research programs are available for undergrad students. The vibe of UC Merced is driven and students are explorers. For UCSD, Tommy shared that it is a school known for pre-med and computer science.
Awesome. George?
Yeah, UCLA majors-wise is known for psychology, math, but also program-wise, a lot of arts, design, media, and similar majors associated with the Hollywood environment. Those definitely bind UCLA with the local city in terms of film and television, especially. And in terms of vibes, I feel like UCLA, when I said warm in terms of the student body, it's very open and accepting of people from all kinds of backgrounds. And together, I think we really help each other learn and grow as people and students.
That's awesome. Daria?
Yeah, so I would say majors wise, definitely computer science is really well known at UC Berkeley, as well as the College of Engineering as a whole. And then I would also say a lot of the more radical humanities really had their roots in UC Berkeley as being formalized in academic institutions, such as ethnic studies. Vibes wise, I would say that it's very, very work hard, play hard. People are really, really close, but also very, very inclined to do the best that they can academically.
Awesome. Jocelyn?
In terms of majors at UC Santa Barbara, economics is one of our big ones. It's a very rigorous major here. Same with social sciences, so like sociology, stuff like that, and biology. We have a lot of biology, biomed majors. And in terms of the vibe, I think UC Santa Barbara definitely kind of fits its stereotype. You know, it's a lot of really chill college students who all live on the beach. So everything's very relaxed here, but there's always something to do.
Emma?
Yeah, so for the academics at Davis, we're known for our College of Biological Sciences. We have an entire college just devoted to biology, and within that college, there are so many different majors like plant biology, animal biology, and there's so many variations of that. And then a lot of students will continue on to med school or vet school or some kind of health science. And then as for the vibes of Davis, we're definitely known for everyone being friendly, everyone biking all the time, and having cows on campus. And all three of those things are definitely very true.
Okay, Ken?
UC Irvine, as far as majors, it's known for our STEM and social science majors. The vibes, I mean, Irvine's known as the Asian school, so of course we have like a lot of international students, but we also have a lot of first generation college students, which is really cool. And, you know, of course we're known for our collegiate gaming teams just because of our very high Asian population.
Sai?
Majors-wise, we have a lot of psych students, a lot of people in CS, or computer science and computer engineering, as well as a lot of humanities majors, followed by MCD biology. The school's vibe is kind of interesting because we're all like kind of disconnected in this like weird redwood forest, right? And we hike a lot and stuff like that. But then, you know, you go on like a 5-minute bus ride down campus, you're just right next to a beach. So it's really chill and lax.
Nice. And Taylor.
Riverside, I think major-wise is known for their psychology program and their biological and biomedical program, and I think also their business program. The vibes at Riverside is a little interesting. I think the diversity is like mainly Hispanics and Asians. So a lot of people call UC Riverside UC Raverside because that's like all there is to do out there. But yeah.
The next question is, what is your favorite college memory? And we're going to start out with Xiaomian.
So for Julie, her favorite memory at UC Merced is during her first year living in the dorms, her group of friends would cook every weekend and they would just be cooking together in the kitchen and doing a game night. And for Tommy at UC San Diego, she would be able to walk to the beach from her dorms in just 2 minutes at night with her friends.
Nice. And George.
Yeah, my favorite college memory at UCLA was probably I was able to audition for this sort of like fashion runway show for streetwear, and I got in, and I invited all my friends to come out. And UCLA definitely is known for a lot of like having just a lot of students from different backgrounds, and it was almost so like this sort of safe space for POC, and just walking out there like full makeup, attire, streetwear, and everyone was just cheering and screaming for you, and you can hear your friends too. I think that was just so comforting and affirming, and that just felt so great. So
Awesome. Daria.
Hi, yeah. One of my favorite parts of Berkeley is that like it's really radical, and whenever we have like conservative speakers, everyone just like starts protesting. So one of my favorite memories is just like one of those protests when we had like a really conservative speaker come on, and I really liked like the unity that the student body sort of demonstrated, and you know like the cohesion between everybody, and it was really empowering to see that experience. And it was really just like encouraging to me that like a lot of folks are, you know, excited to stand up for what they believe in and are excited to push for social good and social change. And I remember everyone locking arms sort of around the building that the event was happening. And I just found that event to be really, really defining in terms of like the radical nature and the radical roots of UC Berkeley as like kind of the origins of a lot of social movements.
That's awesome. Emma.
So about 2 years ago, when I was an incoming freshman, I was exploring the campus with my friends. So we found this area of campus called the Arboretum at Davis, which is basically a gigantic pond filled with like a lot of wildlife and lots of trails and lots of trees. And it's really, really pretty. So we explored that and it was fine, but then the sun set and there was no lighting in there. So we got like super, super lost and it was night and it took us forever to get out of there. But I was a little bit scared at first, but overall it was really fun because it helped me kind of get to know my campus a lot better, and I got a lot closer with the people I was with, and overall it was a good bonding experience and just like a kind of fun adventure to start the year.
Sounds very fun. Jocelyn.
So one of my favorite memories at UC Santa Barbara is actually spending finals week in the library, which might sound a little weird, but one thing kind of cool about our library is that the fourth floor is allowed to be kind of more the social floor. So you don't have to be super quiet, you know, there obviously are places that are silent if that's what you need, but when you want to relieve the stress, it's kind of nice to go to that floor with your friends and be able to all work on the stuff you have to work on together, but still being able to, you know, have a little fun, you know, not be super stressed out all the time. But yeah, that's just one cool thing that happened here.
Awesome. Ken?
One night, my friends and I just kind of decided to take a spontaneous trip to San Diego from Irvine just to go get some like tacos and the beach. It was just a really great time, just kind of driving late at night, you know, visiting the different just places to see in SoCal and, you know, getting to know my friends better.
Awesome. How far away is San Diego from Irvine?
I think Honestly, it only took us about an hour to drive, but I mean, no traffic at like 3 a.m., so I can't really say.
Nice. Okay. Sai?
Early on in like freshman year, we were me and my roommates were trying to explore the campus, right? And we made a couple of friends along the way. So to better get to know each other, we thought we would visit this cave on campus, right? And the campus is like really big, and normally you kind of take buses to get around. And their first mistake was letting me navigate the way. So we walked there and like go around this road and stuff, and like it ends up taking us around like an hour and a half, 2 hours to get there, right? And we explored the cave. It was really cool. We didn't really get to take pictures because it was kind of dark already. And after we were about to leave, we saw some kids from Porter, which is a nearby residential college. And they were like, follow us up and we'll just take you on the way back. And there was like a 20-minute route right behind the dining hall, which we could have taken the whole time. And I mean, it was fun, but like I don't really get to use Google Maps or navigate the way anymore. So yeah.
Nice. And Taylor?
I think my favorite college memory has to be Block Party, which is one of the free concerts that Riverside holds at like the beginning of the school year. And like Riverside is actually known for having like pretty good free concerts. I think like the Baby came last year, but I mean it was fun going with all my friends. Yeah.
Next question. Pitch your school in 15 seconds. Why should people apply? Xiaomian.
So Julie would pitch for UC Merced. Her pitch is, UC Merced is a perfect place for new opportunities right as you enter college. The small class sizes allow you to work with your professors, get the help you need, and search for research opportunities with them as well. I know many friends who are science majors who have been able to work on research as undergraduates close with graduate students and professors. The school may be smaller than the other UCs, but we're growing and there are a lot of opportunities that will help you grow academically. And now for UCSD, Tommy's pitch is, people should apply to UCSD because it's a research hub for science and technology, has numerous business startups, and is a lively and beautiful campus minutes away from the beach that finds a perfect balance between work and play.
Nice. George?
People should apply to UCLA because it's this amazing balance of both innovation and research, biology, humanities, or even film and television, and also partying, getting close to these people that you'll remember for the rest of your life, and engaging in just what it means to be like a college student and a teen, like living out the rest of your teens for 4 years.
Nice. Daria?
I would say that people should apply to UC Berkeley because it's one of the most competitive schools in the state and in the country. It is the OG UC to apply. They're not only great professors, but it's also an extraordinary caliber of students. So I feel like that student-on-student interaction really pushes you to be your best and excel. There's also opportunities to get involved in a diverse education between both STEM and humanities, like I've mentioned before, because Cal is a school that has really broken boundaries and set new global and national expectations in both these realms.
Wow, awesome. Emma?
So Davis is a very welcoming community of individuals who are all focused on their future. The students here truly support each other both academically and socially. So with about 30,000 undergraduates, you will be able to find a solid group of friends for sure, which is very important for college. With literally hundreds of student organizations, an active downtown, and lots of cows to pet, you will have plenty here to keep you busy. I absolutely love UC Davis, and I think that all of you will too, so I hope that you guys will all apply this fall.
Thank you. Jocelyn?
I think a lot of people kind of just write off UC Santa Barbara as like the party UC. And I'm not going to pretend like it doesn't happen, but employers have said that they really like UC Santa Barbara students because we consistently produce really strong academic results while still maintaining this really fun and lively community. So if you're someone who likes to work hard and play hard, and if you want to live on the beach, then I think UC Santa Barbara is a great school for you.
Awesome. Ken?
UC Irvine is just known to be a really welcoming and kind of laid back school. We have like a really diverse student body that provides really strong support for first generation college students, with just high quality instructors, courses, and resources. In addition, it's located near a wide selection of great food, entertainment, and job opportunities.
And Sai?
UC Santa Cruz is a beautiful campus full of kindred and vocal students, always seeking an adventure. The massive campus fits any niche, ranging from theoretical endeavors in humanities to STEM research with our Baskin School of Engineering, biomedical sciences, and other fields. One loop bus down, campus features everything Santa Cruz is known for, from great food to beautiful beaches.
Nice. And then Taylor?
UC Riverside is a great school that offers many different organizations and majors that will make you feel safe and welcome. I know many people don't really, consider going to Riverside because it's a little out there, but let me tell you, it is one of the best decisions I've ever made.
And yeah, I think that's it for our interview section. We're going to spend the rest of the time going over questions from students. So if you have a question, please privately message me. Our first question is, do you know if the SAT will be happening in the coming 1 or 2 months? I personally don't know what's happening with the SAT. I believe it depends on the state of coronavirus, unfortunately, in our area. I've heard that people who take the SAT in locations where there are lower rates of COVID haven't had their tests canceled. But I'm not exactly sure what will be happening with SAT. I'm sorry. And then we have another question. Other than Berkeley, which college has a good program for industrial engineering? Would any of our participants like to answer that one? You could just raise your hand. Or do we not have the raise your hand feature? I don't know. You could just unmic if you want to speak.
UC Berkeley definitely, I think, gets the majority of the reputation for engineering, but I just like to say that UCLA was voted #1 public university for 4 years in a row. So from engaging in the math and engineering department, I think we've had some of the best like STEM sort of education. We were alongside Stanford, invented the internet, which is I think definitely a great plus. And yeah, from taking math classes here and engaging with some of the professors here, there's amazing research. There's definitely a lot of engineering you can go into, civil, industrial, environmental if you'd like. And there's so many different opportunities here. Berkeley, I do want to recognize them though too, like the EECS program that I think Daria, you're involved in it, right? Is like one of the best in the nation. So definitely between UCLA and Berkeley, I think we have some like the top 2 engineering programs. So definitely check us both out.
And Daria, do you want to elaborate more on UC Berkeley's engineering program?
Hello? Yes. Okay. Sorry. My mic. I was like smiling because my mic was like lagging. So I was very horrified that it would not unmute in time, but alas, it didn't anyway. But anyway, so essentially, I would say that like one of the best things about the engineering program at Berkeley is that there are so many different kinds of engineering. And while EECS gets like the most hype, it's like also very much focused on material science engineering, industrial engineering and operations research, bioengineering. And then when you're in the College of Engineering, like once you gain admission to that particular college, it's really easy to like move across majors. So like if you're initially interested in bioengineering, but then you're like, oh, I think like material science might be like more down my alley, it's really, really easy to like move from one major in that department to another one in the same College of Engineering. So that's one thing that I know a lot of people have experienced is like the fluidity between the different kinds of majors. But yeah, I don't know too much about the details of industrial engineering, which was the thing that I think was asked, but I do know some people who are in that program and they say that it is more focused on like the statistics intersection with engineering, as well as like data science and more business management side. So like, think about like engineering having like a child with an Excel spreadsheet and like you get the IOR department at Berkeley. So that's what I've heard.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Does anyone else want to speak on engineering at their schools? Or else I can move on to the next question. Okay. The next question is more general. Are leadership positions necessary to get into UCs? Maybe someone who hasn't spoken yet can speak on that.
Honestly, for the most part, I would say not exactly. I mean, of course, leadership always helps. I mean, I did a little bit of leadership when I was in high school because like I was flute section leader for marching bands. But in general, I know a lot of people here that didn't necessarily do anything leadership related in high school, but they had other stuff going on. So you don't need leadership specifically. You just need a decent resume that has a lot of stuff on it.
I agree with Emma. I think you just have to have like extracurriculars, maybe not like necessarily leadership, but just saying like you're involved in a club is like good enough.
Maybe if each person could share what they did in high school, maybe that would be helpful.
Yeah, sure. I played sports in high school. I was on the softball team and the field hockey team, and then my senior year I was captain. So yeah.
Emma, do you want to?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so my biggest activity in high school was marching band. I was like I said, flute section leader. So that was really fun. I also did some volunteer events at a club called Spare. It's kind of the environmental club at Branham. I was in NHS and I also worked and I just did some other kind of random stuff, but that was my big stuff.
Daria?
I know that the local middle school is Dartmouth, one of them. I went to Dartmouth and I basically founded a Girls Who Code club at Dartmouth and spent a lot of my time teaching that. But my main extracurricular was probably speech and debate. That's like primarily what I did, and I was VP senior year.
Awesome. George?
I see my big ones. I was the recycling officer in Spare. I did a lot of clubs at Branham. I founded Athena, which was an anti-human trafficking club with Lauren. I did a neuro internship over the summer at Stanford. I did Russian theater and marching band too. And I think going into what Emma and Taylor had said, it's just important to get like far or to be very involved in the clubs that you are active in. Not like just a bunch of little things, but like a few big things that you can talk about extensively, like in your applications.
Yeah, definitely finding your passions and really pursuing those.
Yeah, and I think also too, like, at least from what I remember, like showing that you did something for like the 4 years of high school shows that you like your commitment skills to things. I don't know. That's what I put on mine.
Yeah. Jocelyn?
I don't have like the most impressive high school resume. I really only I did field hockey and softball like Taylor. I was an editor for the Bear Witness for a year, and I have 1 year of ASB, but if you guys don't have some crazy long extracurriculars are definitely important. I think that's part of what got me into the school. But if you don't have a list as long as George's, don't panic. You'll be okay.
Yeah, and it's also important just to enjoy your high school experience because you only get those 4 years. And then you have to go to college and really grow up. So make the most of your time. Ken?
Yeah, so in high school, I was mainly involved with like the music department. So I did a lot of like percussion stuff, like the winter percussion team, like marching band and stuff. And I did have some leadership positions that were mostly, in band, like section leader and stuff like that. I mean, I was also involved in like NHS and the Spare Club, but I think I just wanted to add on to the part about commitment. I think, leadership is good to have. Like, I mean, you need leadership skills in life, but commitment is definitely also a really important thing. I think colleges really look for like which applicants are gonna, stick through it, right? They don't want flakers at their school, right? If you have a club or activity that you've stuck with through most of high school, they see dedication, which is like a really big thing. So.
Yeah. And I think if you don't have commitment, or if you didn't do an activity for 4 years, then definitely you want to pursue leadership positions and show that you're committed in other ways. But doing an activity for a long time also shows commitment. So there's multiple ways to show commitment too. Sai?
Yeah, so yeah, my high school resume wasn't really that cool either. But I was on tennis for 4 years. I did NHS amongst other volunteering organizations. I was also an editor at the Bear Witness. Yeah, let's go. So, but yeah, just adding to all their points, that's true. Like dedication is probably the biggest takeaway here. It doesn't matter as much about leadership as much it does about your passion and your willingness to actually like invest your time in something that you think is important and something that you want to do more than anything else.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, we're gonna move on from extracurriculars, but we can definitely elaborate if people have more questions on that. The next two are about, the first one is, how is the workload different from high school? And how did each person know what major they wanted to study? Does anyone want to speak on that?
I can speak on the major one. Like honestly, I actually declared my major like the beginning of this year. I actually went in undeclared. And you know what? It's okay if you go in undeclared, like don't feel pressured at all. I swear, like do not feel pressured. Going undeclared, like I mean, your first year, you're kind of just taking a bunch of GEs, so like it kind of helps you figure out like maybe what you're interested in, like majoring in. Because I know a lot of, like a lot of kids like really don't know what they want to do. So yeah.
For me, I say like I was involved with a lot of music, right? So I kind of assumed that I would be majoring something music related. But I mean, I'm a psychology major now, so it's just kind of like the way life goes, it just goes. Like I can't really explain it. Like the reason I got psychology on my radar was literally because I read a book in my English class for like silent reading time. Like it was just kind of a psychology book. So like kind of what Taylor said, I feel like there's no real rush in trying to figure out your major. It's like it'll come when it comes. College definitely the first couple of years is the time to really try to get to know yourself and what you like and what really interests you. So
And then on another note, like if you pick a major, there's always the opportunity that you can switch your majors, so don't feel pressured to just like pick one and have to stick with it. Like explore your options, make sure you make the best decision for yourself.
Another thing is that minors are a really great opportunity. So I was really, really unhappy my first semester at Berkeley because I was just studying like EE and CS, and I was like always interested in humanities when I was like in high school. So I was really, really upset that I wasn't experiencing anything related to the humanities whatsoever. So I really decided to take on an ethnic studies minor, and that's like giving me the diversity of like education that I wanted. So yeah, I would say that minors are also a way to like experiment. You can also like start with minoring in something and then maybe pick up a double major, but it's pretty fluid. You can go throughout like different journeys, different majors, different minors for sure.
Yeah, and while we're talking about majors, I just wanted to add, I'm a communication major, which I get a lot of slack for, I guess. People kind of consider it an easy major. So I just wanted to say, like, if you pick your major and people are giving you a hard time for it, who cares? It's what you want to do. I know that I don't care if anyone else really thinks communication isn't like a hard major, because I know that that's what I want to do with my future. So whatever you guys do end up picking, when you feel it's the right time to pick it, don't feel super pressured to pick the hardest thing out there. Do what you enjoy, because it's part of what's going to guide the rest of your future, essentially.
And then I also would like to add, like, it's kind of crazy seeing how many majors and minors actually have like the same requirements for course loads. So like, I mean, half of the courses I'm taking are like basically like I could get like a psychology minor, which I'm honestly thinking about, because like it's only like a couple extra classes I have to take, and then I have something else to put on like my resume. So just something to think about.
And yeah, for me, I've known for a while that I've wanted to be like pre-med. And then for pretty much all the pre-health professions, there's like prerequisites you have to take, like biology, chemistry, and so on. But the actual major a lot of the time doesn't matter as long as you satisfy the right classes. So for anyone who's like wondering what to major in, like, oh, what should I major in to get into med school or to vet school or to like whatever kind of school, I just want to reiterate that the actual major doesn't matter as long as you take the proper classes that each school requires.
Another really fun thing about the UC system is there's literally a DIY program where you can make your own major, which is what I wanted to do because I didn't like neuro because everyone was pre-med. So now I want to do astrobiology. So if you choose that, you should consider first if like you're doing an impacted major. If you're going to a school with like a lot of people, like Berkeley or UCLA, think about like if you switch out of your major, will it be hard to get back in? I think for a lot of the UCs it isn't, but just be careful for like certain programs especially. And then in terms of workload, you're going to be taking less classes than you do in high school, and like that should not be a bad thing because you'll have more time. Some UCs are semester, some UCs are quarter, and that like changes how much time you spend with certain material. But yeah, it's just I feel like they're not very comparable just because like you're spending all of your time in like one certain topic. Like at UCLA, you take three, maximum four classes, I think, in one quarter, because like four classes is deadly at that point. And especially if they're STEM, like you just spend a lot of time engaging in all of them. You do get sleep though, which is really nice. So don't sign up for 8 a.m.s because you want to sleep as much as you can. You're going to be partying probably. Like honestly, you probably will. Um, so yeah, just don't take 8 a.m.s and you'll get a lot of help with your schedule too.
Yeah, I agree with George. I took a 7 a.m. I had a 7 a.m. discussion on Wednesdays, my fall quarter, and I hated myself every day for it. Like it was like, first of all, it was mandatory. Like I had to go there. It was 7 a.m. every Wednesday. Please do not do that to yourself. I'm telling you, do not do that to yourself.
Yeah. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I also wanted to add that for the UC courses compared to like high school classes, um, you spend like less time in actual class and actual lecture, but a lot more time on the outside just kind of studying the material. Because in high school, a lot of the time, like the teachers will give you time in class to like go over practice problems and go over these slowly and like ask a lot of questions. Whereas in college, the lectures go pretty fast. You don't normally get to do practice problems in class, and like most of the studying is up to you on your own time. And that also reminds me that you have to manage your time now. Like no one is keeping attendance of you attending your lectures for most classes. So please go to class, guys.
Yeah, like on that 8 a.m. note, like I remember I signed up for 8 a.m.s like in fall quarter in freshman year. And then I'm like, I got it. Like I did it for like what, 4 years? Like it's not that bad. And it was horrible. But I still do it every quarter because I think I can do it. And I mean, like I think next quarter is the only quarter I haven't had an 8 a.m. And I'm so happy. But on like the on the topic of majors, yeah, I signed up for MCD Bio because it pretty much knocks out everything I need for pre-med. Maybe not like one psych class and one phil class, but everything else pretty much. Then I noticed I ironically liked coding in some ways, right? And because like I think it's because 70% of my friends are in CS or bioinformatics or something. So I was thinking about doing a bioinformatics minor last year, and I'm like, no, I'll just graduate early. No, I'm not gonna do that. And then fast forward to COVID, everything like it's hard to do like in-person labs right now, right? Because of COVID. And I got involved with this like VR research where you have to like code and make games, right? And I was working on that and I'm like, wait, coding, bio, I like it again. Maybe I'll just do a minor. And I think that's what I like about it. Like it's so fluid. You kind of just, go with whatever experiences you are, experiencing at that time. So I guess don't force it.
I think based on what Sai said, college is really like a time for discovery, self-discovery. It's like going into your first 2 years at the very least, like you're definitely going to make a lot of changes in your life. You're probably going to grow as a person. Um, Not just talking about Brandon, but like hopefully, like you guys haven't peaked in high school. Like you're going to get to great places in life. But oh, and also adding to what Emma said about like going to class, also go to office hours, which is basically like one-on-one time with a teacher. Other people might also come, so it's also like a group discussion. But yeah, go to those. Like, don't think you know the material, and then like so much of your grade is just based on the test, and there's no like retakes or anything like that. Like, go to office hours, ask the questions. If you need help, just ask it. Like, they're there to help you. The resources are there. You just have to access them yourself.
Going off of what Emma said, like, with the whole going to class thing, like, I hope you guys know, like, this is very much, like, on you. Like, if you want to go to class, you can go to class. If you don't want to go, no one's going to tell you to go. So if you want to get good grades, and, really get through it, like, make sure you're on top of everything, you're not slacking and, like, what your priorities are, which you will slowly learn within your first couple years?
Go to office hours. Seriously, like they're huge, especially for those who want research and stuff like that. Like I became friends with this one professor because I went to his office hours and we just talked about basketball. But I mean, and I barely know anything about basketball, but like, no, he's an awesome molecular bio professor, and like I still have Zoom calls with him while he's like cooking and stuff, and he's like, what are you up to? Like, what research are you doing? Like, what are you doing now? Like, it's just because they're there for you at the end of the day, and like you don't like no one's gonna like hold your hand and take you to class. Like sure your roommates are gonna be like get your butt out of bed, just go to class and stuff like that, but more often than not, if you skip class, that's on you, and if you have to catch up, you could be lucky if they're webcasted, but if they're not, I mean, that's rough. So just go to class, go to office hours, and get good at like time management.
And I just want to add with the office hours, like I know it's kind of weird with Corona, like having to go to like a Zoom call office hour where it's like just you and the professor. It's a little weird, but they're really helpful. I really encourage everyone to go. I know it's just weird just sitting in front of a professor, but like they're just there to help you. Like take advantage of it.
You guys are in high school still. I think now is a good time for you all to start implementing really good like time management skills like we're talking about. I wish I was a little bit better at that. I know my senior year, I don't think I did any homework at home. I think the entire year I did everything at school, did not do anything in my own house, and then got to college and was pulling all-nighters constantly only because of my own poor time management skills. So take advantage of the time you guys have now, learn from our mistakes, and just do better than I did.
I definitely want to echo that. I found that time management was absolutely crucial in college compared to high school. Like for high school, I was able to, kind of relax on the weekends and spend some time to myself. But at least my experience in college has been if you get involved in a lot of stuff, then you'll wake up in the morning, you'll work, and then you'll look outside and it's dark, and you've just been working from like the time you woke up to the time you slept, and then you wake up and then you do the same thing over and over again, which sounds like not that fun, but it can be if you really love what you do. I would just say that like my Google Calendar is like color coded, and like everything is just like stacked on top of each other, and it's just like if I didn't have that, then I would literally forget like everything, and I would forget like every assignment. So organization is something that is really, really far more important in college than in high school.
I hope this doesn't intimidate you guys though. Like we have weekends. Sometimes we have Fridays off. I think like fall quarter I had Friday off, which was amazing because you have a 3-day weekend. But yeah, like you get involved with research on your own time. But you're like living at this college with your friends. You're living with your friends, and you go to parties, and you go to the beach, and you go to wherever, and you hang out with people, and you try new food and have new experiences. So just yeah, college will be so fun. You're separate from your family. You're basically free. Like it's gonna be tough, but you're like one of you guys said, work hard, play hard. Like I love that. Like that's exactly what college is.
I just think like an overall kind of theme of college is just independence, right? You're just on your own for the first time in your life. So all these things are just kind of in your hands now, like time management, talking to professors, taking care of your own life, doing your own laundry, going to class. All of these are on your own, right? You don't have mandatory attendance, right? You don't have teachers kind of babysitting you and calling your parents if you don't show up to class. You don't have homework to do, so you don't have things to keep track of your learning. So it's like, if you aren't gonna step up, no one else is going for you, and so you're just kind of gonna screw yourself over without a better term, right? And so, like, for me personally, like, I was a very kind of laid back student in high school. For those that know me, like, I just, I did what was told of me, and I wasn't totally invested in it. And then in college, it was just, it's not like I suddenly changed. I just was, laid back. And it started to kind of creep up on me, right? So slowly, the workload and stuff. And then eventually, I got to the point where, like, oh, shoot, I need to change what I'm doing to really get myself in check to finish or be successful, right? So I had to, start reaching out to my peers and my professors and stuff. And, like, for example, like in class lectures, like you're not going to have table groups that you guys get to do, like, I don't know, group problems with and make little cup towers to show, oh, hey, teacher, I need help. No, you got to turn to the person next to you and be like, hey, did you understand this in the lecture or whatever, and your friends aren't always going to be in your classes either. So it's like it's really up to you to take initiative and be in charge of your own success, right?
Thank you guys for all of those really awesome answers. We only have 3 more minutes and a lot more questions, so I think we're going to try to power through these last ones. I'm fine with staying a couple minutes over, but we'll try to get through these a little bit faster. The next question is, do you think it was the short answers / unique essays that ultimately got you into a UC? Also, what did you write about? So I think this is about the essays and what you wrote about. Does everyone want to just say a quick thing about the essays?
I wrote about my growth in speech and debate, as well as like my passion for the intersection of social justice and technology. And yes, I think that was the main reason I got in, because I didn't actually have any like actual coding experience going into college.
Yeah, I wrote about stuff that was like on my resume, but I expanded a lot from it. So like my tip for you is that if you're gonna write about stuff that's on your resume, make sure like the information you provide is like more than just a resume. It should have a lot more in it, besides like a list of stuff you've done.
I agree with Emma. Like they're already going to see your statistics and everything. Like the short essays is where you get to express like who you are as a person, as an individual going to the school. So it's like use that opportunity to explain like who you are and like like why you want to go to the school and like like what makes you want to go there and just everything like that.
And especially in COVID, like there will be a lot less focus on grades, although that I guess still kind of matters from previous years. But yeah, essays will like be more important than ever before. So like talk about what you've been passionate about, expand on like your resume. Like Taylor said, that's like one of the biggest things you can do.
I think oh, so sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Oh. Go ahead.
I'll go. Okay. I think my essays were a big part of what got me in to a UC, especially I didn't have the greatest numbers going in. So kind of like what George was talking about, things are going to be probably a little more focused on the essays. And I think it's a really good chance to showcase, who you are. I wrote about being a first-gen college student. I know a lot of times they kind of tell you like, pour your trauma out into your essays. And I think a lot of people do kind of take advantage of that, but it's up to you how you want to display yourself to your future school.
Yeah, definitely. I think in the UCs, like some people do choose to talk about their resume and what they've done in college or in high school. You could also talk about your experiences, your identity. Both of those are really great essay topics.
Yeah, going off of Lauren, like, you can always talk about like your hardships and like, like the steps that you took to overcome them, because that shows the college like, hey, like, you might be in a hard spot, but like you are still driving to, better yourself and everything, which is what they want to see.
Should we move on to the next question? I think it's 5 o'clock. So someone says, when should you start sending out your college applications? I believe the deadline is for UCs is November 31st, right?
I think so. But you know what? The earlier you can do it, send it. That's all I'm going to say.
And then how do you balance between academics and personal life in college?
Ooh, this is a fun one. A lot of the time they mix. Okay, so like some of my closest friends are also pre-med. One of my best friends literally is. So in winter when we did EMT and had the same classes, we had a full load of classes and EMT. So we would have around 15 to 20 hours of in-class time at EMT, but also like 15 to 20 hours of in-class time of classes. And then we also had homework. So we just all do it together. And going to classes and like being with friends that were older than us that were taking the program with us, it was just an experience in itself. And that was our personal life for that one quarter. Like, it's weird. Like, I know it was all intimidating when we were talking about college and like, how we manage our time and everything, but it becomes fun. Like, we went to this this room in the School of Engineering, and our friends know the code to get in, right? And I don't know how, but I think he got it from someone like a year ago. He just kind of kept like rotating around us, right? And we kind of just stayed there all night, and we had a couple of yerbs with us, and plenty of caffeine. And we were just there until the morning, and then we're like, okay, like let's go to EMT in the morning. And then it was like, and then that's at 8 a.m. and it just kind of becomes fun. And we look back at that quarter, and I'm not gonna lie, that was my favorite quarter at college.